Did you touch anything?
Yes, I turned this one.
Okay, how about now? Can you guys
There
hear
you
me
go.
now? Maybe?
You got green lights.
Maybe? Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness. Well, there's nothing like going live and then just having to scramble because it just goes down on you and nobody knows why.
Come.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. But the good news is we're here. I apologize. I'm 12 minutes behind.
Is it 12 minutes?
But you know what's amazing to me is that 38 people stuck with me for 12 minutes. Oh, my goodness. Okay, we'll get rolling now. Anyway, where were we? Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday.
And I'm going to be way behind. So let's get some hellos in real quick. Oh, my goodness. And then we'll truck on. Scarlet Oak, welcome in. Terminator, good to see you. Jane Marie, hello. Rhonda Benefield, good to see you. The greatest name on the internet
Half a bluff.
is in the house, as is Lisa. Good to see you. No lives complete without a
Pack rat.
Pack Rat says, sorry to miss the last live. The bride and I were celebrating our anniversary. We're happy anniversary. Life with Mike and Jen are in the house. Let's see here. David Strom, how are you, my friend? Jane Marie. Yeah, I'm glad we got the sound fixed. That was fun. Nito,
I don't think it was fun.
yeah, Nito says, good evening, everybody. We have been up and running on solar since Tuesday. The county signed off on it today. Yep. And
Congratulations.
It's a fun journey and you learn so much. I'm going to talk about our solar a little bit tonight. But
Any questions? Anything you noticed? Anything you want to share with us?
Jean Menke, welcome in. The king himself, Jeff, Gypsy, Hefty, Lefty, Amazon, Mud Dogger, Slick, Phyllis is in the house. Good to see you. Yep, let's see here. Yep, Dana Green, good to see you. Hey, Unique Prepping's here. What's going on, buddy? How's Zach? Hope all is good. Instigators in the house. It is Pictionary edition. Mary Michelle, hello.
He's quick.
Yep, greatest name on the internet in 6 words. Kent says, a little late getting tonight. Evening all. Greetings, Tag and B. Seems to be some shenanigans going on. Yep, and there was, but I think at least for now we have it. Knock on wood.
Not rowdy anymore.
Yep. We have a still frame, says Dana Green. Hopefully not anymore. Let's see here. Paula is in the house, as is Kent. Says, put that one up there. Says, remember the true reason and meaning for the Christmas season. Yeah, I'm actually going to do a deep dive into Christmas, closer to Christmas, and talk about its history a little bit. See, Susan's channel says, this looks like my Amazon photo account. Yeah, it must have been when I didn't have a camera. Yep. Let's see here. Scanes Girl, hello. Plumber Mickey says, we see you, but no sound. We got in. Will be cool. Good to see you. Permatopia Farm, how are you? Mandy, I hope all is well with you guys. Dave and Sonia in Michigan, good to see you guys as well. Let me see here. Make sure that I get everybody.
Yeah, you're going fast.
Yep, Grateful Hearts Ranch, good to see you as well. Carrie Davis, hello. One step closer, how are you, my friend? Stan Guntry says, there we go. Yep. See, now we're finally getting to the, oh my goodness, we have sound again. Yeah. Well, Mike says, and right. For the win, says, don't touch anything. It's working. Yeah, right. Yep. That is about the truth too, right? Let's see here. All right. We got all the perfectos. Redneck Tom, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. I hope everything's good with you guys. Haven't heard from you in a little bit. I hope things are good. Yeah. Kent says, I hear you, but the picture is rectangle instead of full screen. Kent, here's the thing, is that YouTube about 2 weeks ago decided that when we do a live, that they would offer 2 different lives. They would offer a live that had a little cell phone icon on it, and then they would have a live that was for like a TV or a desktop. So if you clicked on the cell phone one, we're going to look the other way. Right? We're going to look the other way. Yeah, like this. See, babe?
Yes.
Because that's the cell phone one, right? Anyway, that's YouTube. Todd, not Todd.
So click out and then
Yeah, it has
look
been a
for
bit.
a different one.
But good to see you. Permatopi Farm says, oops, I only see half of each of you, but that's okay. Don't fix anything. I don't want to lose you. You're on the wrong live, Mandy. Again, YouTube 2 weeks ago changed the whole thing. And you have to pick whether you want it from a TV or a desktop or a cell phone. It's the weirdest thing. I don't understand it. Don't understand it. Let's see here. Yeah, Packrat said, yes, this is the vertical link for mobile. Yep. And my buddy Squatchy, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Yeah, Skane says, I am on a phone, so I didn't notice. Yeah, and Dave says, left and came back in. That worked. Nito says, I don't notice a difference. Just have to remember my middle of the night wake hours not to do laundry and run the dishwasher. Yep, so it's management, right? Let's see here. Manny says, I went out, came back in to YouTube, and everything is normal now. Oh, my goodness. We're just off to quite the start, aren't we?
Yep.
So what are we talking about? Weather. The weather has definitely changed. I have a friend. I have a friend that I talk to periodically in Kenya, and he's always talking about the weather out there. And today I was
Hot, was it?
oh, it's always hot.
Hot, sunny.
Yeah. And so he was asking me a lot of questions this morning about how in the world can we homestead when it's 6 degrees at night? Well, it's easy. You don't do it when it's 6 degrees out.
Well, you're inside when it's 6 degrees out. You try to plan and manage when it's 40 and 50.
Yep, it has definitely been cold. You know, you get up in the morning, it's cold. In the afternoon, it gets to be decent. I mean, what did it get to today?
Today's in the 40s.
Was it in the 40s today?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next Tuesday is supposed to be like 52 degrees.
Yeah, it'll be.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be getting
like outside weather.
Be getting the green bug to go start planting something, huh?
Actually, that's not a bad idea. Can I plant bulbs right now?
I don't know.
Mulch them heavily.
Scotchy says Burr hit 38 at 6 a.m. this morning. 38, Skanes Girl says, is a heat wave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that time of year here, and it'll be cold. Although I think it's gotten cold, more cold earlier this year than it has in previous years. Like typically, we're not really getting into these weathers till January, but here we are in December, starting to experience them. So
in the 20s.
Yeah.
I don't know. In all of November seemed to have been in the 50s.
Yeah.
I was grateful.
Yeah. Terminator says we have 2 feet of snow and it's been down to -5 degrees. Yeah. Love it.
Fahrenheit.
It is time. It is time for you guys to plant garlic.
Is it time?
Is it time? I don't do the planting. I'm the wrong guy to ask that question to. And you got plenty of garlic in the garden, don't you?
Yeah.
Scotchy says, I'm going to get up to 80 next week. I can't even think of what 80 would feel like right now.
The poor plants.
You know, I've been working
go from 38 to 80.
Yeah.
Because he just said 38.
Yeah, I've been helping a buddy build something in his mechanic shop over the last few days. And I get up in the morning and I go to my shop and I get what tools I need for the day. And it's cold and every tool's cold. And, you know, yeah.
Put some gloves on.
Lisa says plant bulbs October through December.
There you go. Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah, but I'm excited not to be in the gardens, to be honest with you guys. I'm excited not to be building fence. I'm excited not to be doing all of those things. I actually really look forward to the winter because it's a chance to heal, you know.
I'm crawling around tiling, so
yeah, you're not outside.
No.
You're not
well, I mean, I was shoveling hay.
Yeah. Let's see here.
You know, the cold is here, so I had to go out and move hay and get some sawdust in.
Yeah. Permatopi Farm says, I'm in Arkansas. Our garlic already about 8 inches tall. Love that. Terminator says we're going to have next 5 days of snow.
Wow.
One Step Closer says we had to empty out the greenhouse 10 days ago since temps in there were getting into the 90s. It's amazing to me how much temperature difference, even when it's really, really cold, the greenhouse gets.
Yeah.
It's significant here too.
Well, I had the greenhouse window open before before I finally lit the stove,
Mm.
I would lift the window into the kitchen from the greenhouse and then put a fan in front of it to suck the air
Mhm.
from the greenhouse because it was like 102 in there.
Yeah, Squatchy says, big swing in the temps right now. The citrus trees are confused.
Mhm.
I buy that.
Right.
Yeah, Terminator says, I'm fighting fishers, coyotes, and a lynx. That'd be a good way to lose some chickens, huh?
Oh, the neighbor has a fox. That he's lost a couple of birds,
Mm.
and so they were trying to.
Get it?
Yeah.
Yep, I know
He
that
was
deal.
just saying like, "Hey, FYI, if he's not coming here,
Mhm.
then he's coming somewhere else."
Yeah. David says, clearing snow off the solar panels is something we definitely have to do. That is for sure because
I do know that chore.
Yeah, because we live off grid. There's no, like, we have a neighbor that's not like a super close neighbor, maybe a mile away,
Yeah.
mile and a half away, and they just let the snow stay on their panels on the roof. They don't even
No,
drive it.
they're on the roof.
But they also have the grid, and so they just go to the grid. Probably would be my assumption.
Oh, absolutely. They don't have batteries.
They don't have batteries.
They don't have batteries. They're connected, and then they like feed back when they have excess. And
I don't understand why anybody would take that deal. maybe there's part of it I just don't understand. Plumber Mickey says planted garlic 3 weeks ago.
Nice.
Yep. One step closer says we plant garlic in Halloween.
Before Halloween.
Yep. Plumber Mickey says it was 9 degrees. Hey, conserve friends, welcome in. Squatchy says I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Gregory says big temperature swings are hard on cattle. Yeah, when the cattle is something, Gregory, that we are not experts in yet.
I am learning what happens.
You know, we've had them for a few years, and we do our best to give them good bedding and give them a place to get out of the weather, and they have their own stalls, and they, you know, all of that, and they eat well and all of those kind of things. But we're just 3 years into 3 years having cows. We had them 3 seasons now. Is that right? I think 3. If Lou's listening, Lou can correct me to be sure, because she.
This is our 3rd year. Is that what you're saying?
I think this is our 3rd year.
I think so. And we had one of the cows had a eye that was wet, and so one of the babies had a bump on his eye. Looked like a sty on his eyeball, like sticking out a little bit, and it was like frothy color. And I called Lou, and I was like, "Hey, this is what's going on." And she was like, "Ma, pink eye." And then so I contacted the vet, and the vet said, "Let me get you a antibiotic." And so she gave me an antibiotic, and Lou came over and helped me administer the antibiotic to the baby with the bump on his eye, and has healed right up. Then his mom had a weeping eye. It was just wet, dripping, just one. And I was like, ooh, I don't want to get, that out of control. And so Lou was here, and we tried to give her an antibiotic as well. And she was not having it. And she fought every bit of us trying. And we tried several times. And Lou goes, "I have never had a cow act like this before." And she said, "You need a head gate. That's what you need." And then she said, let's stop, because I don't want to, overwork her. I don't want her to get all, And so I was like, yeah, good idea. And so I had the bottle of pink eye spray that I gave to Jesse, and he filled it with Kangen hypochlorous acid water. And I just squirted the eye every chance I was out there, just doused her down. And it's all better. There's no more weeping. It's not red. It's not inflamed. She's not digging at it. Baby's all better.
Gregory says they use Draxxin for pink eye.
I don't typically like to give antibiotics, but also I do not want to blind, herd.
Right.
I want to write that down. Where'd that go? Draxxin?
Because
I want to see what he gave me I know the one that he gave me, Lou said, oh, you need some of this. And then I know when I went up there, that's what the vet was going to give me. And then when I said, I think that Mama has it too, she was like, maybe you should like have some on hand in case you got to treat all of them. And I was like, okay, like that sounds like a good idea. And so like extra. And then so she put that back onto the shelf and went and got this like bigger bottle and gave that to me and was like, here, just take this whole bottle instead of like a syringe for the baby. And when I brought it home, Lou goes, that's what they gave you? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, I wish they would have given you the other one. And I was like, why? So I might have to call and ask for the other one just to have one.
Zach said, I'm hoping to start my homestead life in 2 to 3 years, Utah or Arkansas. I'm hoping for Arkansas.
We'll keep you in our prayers.
Yeah, Mandy says they've got 80 cabbage seedlings growing inside the greenhouse, and we'll have about 60 more to plant. Terminator says there's a community next to us that is trying to pass a law that you can't shoot off firearms and crossbows on your own property in Canada. Right, I mean, crazy. Yeah, I think, Terminator, we the people, we have better start standing up. Because these things are becoming more and more oppressive, more and more pushing, more and more on every front, from, property taxes to permitting to, all of these kinds of things. And it's gotten to a point in everyone's life where you don't know nothing. You're just renting it from the government.
Everything.
And that's all it is. And you have to ask them permission for everything. And I'm telling you guys, I'm sick of it.
Even the broken down stuff. Like if you have a broken down jet ski, you need to pay taxes on it.
Okay, so Squatchy said he had an idea. And horses. I don't know what I have an idea and horses is. Terminator says, tag, I'm still in my cabin. It's winter now and they can't kick us out. And I will be purchasing a Reno permit in the spring. Cheapest way for me to go. Must be a renovation permit would be my guess is what they're saying.
Oh. You're such a smart guy.
Squatchy says it no longer holds the line. I am clearly
lost.
Okay. No, yeah, because so Squatchy said, I have an idea. Okay, we'll follow it. Ready? And horses.
And horses.
Amy B, how are you? Welcome in.
Welcome.
And it's no longer hold the line. And idea is the unloader for the snow on solar panels.
Unloader.
Oh, I know what he's talking about.
The horses.
No, he sent me something. Him and I were just Squatchy and I chit chat from time to time. And he sent me this like roller thing. It's like a screen that goes over your solar panel. And you just roll them.
Oh yeah, like on a.
Yeah.
That's a nice.
Yeah, Plumber Mickey says, and the way the property taxes keep going up, we're all just renting our. That's all we're doing.
That's ridiculous too.
But it's true.
There's so many people whose taxes have gone up over 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
In 1 year, that's insane.
Well, what did everybody think they meant when they said you will own nothing and be happy?
I don't know.
I mean, what were they expecting?
Crazy.
No, I mean, and we'll talk about some of these things tonight, but everything's going up. You guys want to see something explode from a price perspective? Watch what happens to energy. Just watch.
Oh, there was a lady who was talking about that.
It's going to be the deal.
She said that there was on her bill, there was like a $250 fee for the program where people can't pay their electric bill. So the people that can pay their electric bill are being charged the fee of the people that the collective people who aren't paying.
Maybe you've been doing that for years. Go look at your cell phone bill. At the very, very bottom of your cell phone bill, you'll see a little charge that says universal cell phone bill. Universal cell phone charge. And that's crazy. That's for providing the phones. Gregory says, tag, what do your building permits cost in your county? So if it's an ag building, the permit cost is $0. My house was like $160 or something like that. The most expensive permit where I live is a septic, which is like $395. See, Mandy says there's a nonprofit organization that will help us planting about 500 to 1,000 trees on contour on our property. Gotta love that. Except, make sure there's no strings.
Oh yeah.
Right. Squatchy said, tag said he wanted it to be easy as for B as possible. and he'll do anything to make that happen. I want it to be easy. If we can, the less we have to do with our backs, right? The easier it is.
Yeah.
At least they cap the amount they could raise the home valuations down here in Texas. I'm telling you guys, I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. And I'm not just going to lay down and take it. I'm just not. And the problem is the conclusion that I've come to in my particular county is that we just have to replace all of them. Because at the end of the day, there's so much, it's funny, my commissioners told me several times that they have no control over it, that it's all mandated by the state. And that's complete bullshit. I went in and went through it line by line with the lady who issues permits and all of that. And although some of the outline is dictated by the state, how it's applied is arbitrary by the county. The county says, oh, they're going to give you an example. In my particular case, my taxes went from $3,200 a year to $7,100 a year this year. A small piece of that was the community building, but the big piece of that raise was because they said my house is nicer than they thought.
Right.
It is better quality than they thought, which is completely arbitrary. And what's funny to me is the people who valued it, the two people who have been on my property, who have valued my property, they were actually on site. They were here, all of that. The lady that changed has never been here. She said that it's of better quality that she could see from the satellite. Piss me off. Anyway, yeah. Let's see here. Instigator says stack panels, batteries, spare chargers, wires, connectors, and inverters. 100% could not agree more. That is fabulous advice. Yep. Conserve Friend says, have you seen what some of the Western provinces of Canada have been announcing and passing? They're standing up to the national government. Alberta seems to be leading the way. Yeah, and I think we're going to see a lot of this, Conserve Friends, in a lot of different places. And I think I'm hoping, right, that people start standing up and saying, no, you're not doing it. And, we shall see, but I hope we see lots and lots and lots of that. Let's see here. Yeah, Pockety says, how do we replace them? Voting? Yeah, and that's a hard part, right? Because you say voting don't matter, and I think it doesn't matter from a federal level and even a lot into the state level. But who sits on your local county commission, you can impact that. You can vote your way to somebody different. And if we can put people in there who are completely anti-taxes and we'll push those, and it's hard though, because you get all this pushback. The people are like, oh, we want to move into the future. And a guy like me wants to go to the past. Let's go back to where government was super, super small and people, was there for the bare minimums, and nothing that isn't statutorily required of them should they be doing. Right. And we don't need tax dollars to do this and to do that and to do this. I don't need to pay tax dollars to build a swimming pool in the middle of the town. If the kids want to swim, come jump in the pond. Just like I did growing up.
They need new trucks.
Yeah.
They need new trucks.
Yeah. Terminator says here permits are 45 cents per $1,000. That's ridiculous. Yeah. County, I'm in stack permits. To build had to get build plumbing, electrical, mechanical, well, septic, and soil retention permits. Oh my God.
Dang.
Yeah. Squadron says, yep, cities need to stop taking state money. Then the state won't push the county. I think, I've had lots of conversations with our commissioners. You guys have seen, I've done interviews with, one of our commissioners. I've had lots. I've tried to sit in there and have rational conversations with them. But at the end of the day, my county has flat out lied to me. And, they tell you, it's not really a lie. It's a half truth.
That's a lie.
Well, the truth is the parameters are outlined by the state. That is 100% true. But how it's applied, what value they give things, all of that stuff, that's all done internally and all done at the county level. So it's all BS. And I think we need to be pushing super hard, is my opinion. I hope that we can get enough local support to, push that.
To matter.
Yep. Voting matters, especially at the local level and in primaries. I don't think voting in the federal primaries matter in one drop. But I do agree that voting in a local for school boards, county commissioners, things like that, we do. If we keep running forward to the future, we will end up in the past. Plenty of dystopian movies and stories about that. Yeah, when I want to go back to the past, I'm not talking about let's get rid of the internet or any of that stuff. What I'm talking about is small government. Let's get back where the government's doing what the government's job is to do. Their job's to keep the roads up, right? Road and bridge, You know, their job is to keep a sheriff's department, right? And, you know, have a courthouse and, you know, do court, you know, those kind of things, you know, but that's it. Plumber Mickey says, oh yeah, my pond permit, I had to first pay for a variance hearing. Oh my goodness.
What
Yeah.
state is this?
Yeah, Plumber Mickey, what state is that? Like out here, everyone wants curb and gutter, but then complains their rural area is being overdeveloped. Right. Right. Like which one do they want? Right. Let's see here. Terminator says, because of my crawl space was still standing, even though built out of wood, I can get a renovation permit for $400, a lot cheaper than a few thousand. Yeah, it's like funny. The laws make no sense, huh? Skane's girl says 100% tag, time to tighten the screws. I agree. I absolutely agree. And you know, in my county, it was if the building was the first two tax people who've both been out to my farm have told me that if the building was 350 square feet or under and not permanently attached, so on skids, on piers, you know, just something temporary, right? Whatever it is, that there's no permit or taxing. And then this year, the county decided that they bought this service basically from an airplane. They fly over everybody's property, and I've been in. I watched it. I watched how it works. Like they
like make a grid.
They make a grid, and if there's any changes in it, the computer system alerts them. So my county found 400 buildings that were not permitted, and so they threw a big old fit and all this. Come to find out that the vast majority of those 400 buildings that were not permitted were under the 350 square feet, which the county's been advised forever. This rule has been here 20 years, right? And so now they're trying to push for, well, let's just get a permit for everything. And so now here we go. We get to go try to push back. A complete mess. Plumber Mickey says, Michigan. Yep, hope to finish the work needed here to sell out and move to Tennessee. Yeah, I've Mark Baker up there in Michigan is a buddy of mine. And yeah, I went up there and spoke at their tribe event a couple years back. I had a lot of real good experiences up there. It's a beautiful place. Absolutely beautiful. We considered Plumber Mickey. We considered Tennessee early on, but I eliminated it. But it made the top couple list. Just didn't make it to the end. Let's see here. Gregory says school district gets about 67% of the RE taxes. Yeah, well, that's a crazy thing too. I mean, they've been talking forever about school choice, right? And I'm paying all kinds of taxes for things I don't use. I was trying to tell the appraiser lady this. I said, I don't use your guys' electrical grid. I don't use your plumbing grid. Right? I don't use your water grid. I don't use any of those things. I'm not dependent upon you. And I tried to argue with her, but I'm off grid. My house won't be super attractive to the normal house guys. We do not have a normal stove and oven in our house. We have a wood cook stove. That's what we cook on. There isn't any of that stuff. I don't have central, heat and air. We use mini splits, right? Because we live life a little bit different. We've chose to live this life different, but they want to upgrade my property because it's too nice.
Did you just kick something?
Yeah, no, it just irritates me to my core. Nito said, my stepdaughter, while she was here last week, tried hard to convince us to sell everything and move near her south of Houston. She couldn't believe we can actually go about a year if we had to.
I would not move to Houston, south of Houston.
No, I know that everyone has their own needs and their own threats analysis and all of those kind of things, but I also would not. But to each their own, for sure. 100%.
100.
What I need to do is I have to reload a couple slides here. Remember this?
Oh.
Hold on.
Is that the field? Where's that? Oh, where is that?
Yeah. So I took this picture right up here, right here in the seat that I'm sitting in. And I love to take pictures of the wildlife as it runs around. So I took a few pictures. This is right up here. This is out that window right there.
That's what I thought.
Them sitting in the other field. Yeah. Yeah, Anito said we are not about to go there. Yeah, Packrat says, because you're not paying into our systems tag, you can afford more. Yeah, that's an interesting theory. I've got a buddy of mine who say, it must be nice to have free energy. And anybody who lives off grid, partially off grid, all of that, understands. She gets mad when I click my pen. Understand that it is not free energy. It's prepaid energy. So I prepaid my energy bill for the next 20 years. It's a long ways from free, right? Nidos, was it free? You know, they just got the whole solar system put in. It wasn't free. I can absolutely assure you
But it's
that.
pretty.
If I want to live in a cardboard box, it's nobody's business, especially the city of the state. Could not agree more. But B, if you move south of Houston, you can grow your own avocados.
Try to get a Walapini.
No, someday,
I'll grow my own anyways. Yeah, someday.
Mickey says, what eliminated Tennessee for you? The number of people that can reach me in a tank of gas. To be blunt. You know, and I've got some great friends that have come from Tennessee. We have a great couple that was lived in Tennessee who moved into our community, have become very great friends of ours. And there's a lot of great things. You know, they lived in the mountains, and
it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. Yes, absolutely beautiful. Plus, my community's here, and so you know, in fact, One Step Closer, who's in the live tonight, he once said, and it was a great quote. He said, "You can buy land anywhere, buy neighbors." And I think that's just really pretty much right on, right? Let's see here. Instigator says over 20,000 for my system, and it's not even fully operational, and that was 4 years ago. Yeah, Nito says, "Oh heck no." Yeah, it's just not free. Yeah, if it was free, they would tell you there's no charge. What a mess. Hey, Big B, what is going on? Good to see you. Welcome in. Packrat says, if you try to live in a cardboard box on your property, the local government will evict you, make you homeless by an underpass because the box is not safe to live in. Yeah, it drives me nuts. Who's to say you can't live the way you want to live? You know, it's the way we live. Some people think it's very strange that we don't have a stove or an oven in our house. We don't, right? If B wants to,
we don't have a gas oven. We have an oven.
We have an oven.
We have a wood oven.
We do. It's just wood fired, right? That's fair. But if we want a pot of coffee, or we want to cook a pizza,
I have an induction oven.
It's a very different process than what most people go through.
What's the stovetop called?
Griddle.
The little thing you plug in. You put the thing. No, the little electric.
Oh, hot pot. The hot.
Yeah, pad.
Yeah. Let's see here. Scotchy says, yes, but they allow the homeless to live in said cardboard box near us. Yeah, completely insane. Amy says, anyone else seen a decline in deer population this year? I am not. I'm actually seeing more deer. Hot plate. Yep. There you go, Plumber Mickey. Yeah, I'm actually seeing more deer here. I almost every single day see deer that I could hit with a football. I mean, you know, if I threw a football at them, right? I mean, there's a lot of deer around me. Now, maybe it's because we don't hunt them.
We have a lot on our back deck. We have a lot in this field right here.
Yeah. Yeah, I have another picture.
There's prints over at the warehouse.
Did you do that? Life done 3 thumbs up. Was that you?
No.
That's weird. That's completely weird. Anyway, let's see here.
Why would it be a dark hand?
I don't know. I find it ironic that when Nevada Energy found out we were putting in solar, our electric rate went down. Yeah, what a mess, right? Tag, I don't have an electric stove, only a wood stove. Yep, us too. Can the deer eat your food? So our food forest is completely fenced, David. Our gardens are completely fenced. And this is something that we're continually...
That's because we've learned that.
It's because we've learned the hard way. Yeah,
we're eating a lot of the food.
Yeah, deer have killed many a trees for me. And, you know, eaten...
Pulled up whole plants.
Oh, yeah, they ate... I planted a bunch of tulips once.
104.
104 tulips?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Bulbs.
And they dug all the bulbs out and ate them.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Gregory says, yes, the deer population up here has declined. And Plumber Mickey says, more deer here too. They've been trying to move in to my camper, or at least leaving me piles of fertilizer around it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. What else we got here? What do you got there, baby?
That's my flock.
Well, it's interesting. What's the bottom of the picture? Are you taking it? Is there another cow laying there?
Yeah, that's a cow.
Okay, so you're taking it over.
Part of the picture's cut off. There's a
Oh,
free man standing there, but look, Corky is standing on top of Lady. You see that?
yeah. So the goat,
On her back,
the goat is standing on top of the cow.
of the cow's back. Yeah, how cool is that?
Hey.
They have gotten to know each other so well that they are okay with
Yeah, I
being
see.
this close.
I see 1 chicken, 2 geese, 3 goats, 2, 3, 5 cows. Is that what you see?
Yep.
Isn't that a great picture? I think it's hilarious.
And they're laying on the food, which now they're eating the what's on the ground because they've spread it, and it's pretty fluffy right now too. So the
Amy B says off-grid cow back massage. Yeah, great.
yeah, those goats aren't very big.
One happy crew. Yeah, goat said the snow is too cold to stand on. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because the other goats are standing on the hay bale.
Oh, Gypsy says lady was raised with goats. So
So
lady, which is the brown cow that the goat is standing on, that's who they're talking about. We got lady from Gypsy and Louise. Yeah. So yeah, they're quite the crew. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't
says,
mind
oh,
each
they're
other.
a cute bunch. Yeah, and that's a very small portion of these animals.
No, this is all the big ones.
Yeah. What I find interesting is that the geese hang out with the cows.
Mass. This is it.
Yeah. Do you find it interesting that
Well-
the geese like the cows? Because they seem to be around each other quite often. I've noticed.
I think it's because the cows are in the cow barn. The
Mm.
food is in the cow barn.
Mm.
I think the geese have learned that the food is in the cow barn.
Mm.
So if they hang out up there, then they get more food.
Mm.
That's what I think.
Got it.
Look at that barrel is in the pond. The pond is all frozen over,
Yeah.
all snowed over. Not now, but
Yeah. It isn't right this second, but it was for a couple days.
what did we
right?
get? 4 inches of snow?
Yeah.
About,
Instigator says community.
yes, community. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And that is actually kind of the way community works too. You've got cows and geese and goats.
There's no dogs in that picture.
Mm-mm.
That's the one thing that's missing.
Yeah.
I'm going to move this.
Well, I don't see a turkey either.
Oh, that's
Or a guinea. You got
Yeah.
1 chicken.
Where's the
Isn't
chicken?
there a chicken right there?
No, that's Brownie.
Oh, that's the other goat. Okay, so I don't see any chickens. All right. Let's see what else you got in
Yeah.
here. Oh, so I just put some slides in here from, you guys remember when the big egg thing was going on where chickens weren't laying eggs?
Mm-hmm.
We have really struggled with that this year. And for a while, right when the weather started to turn, the egg production went to almost to zero.
It
And-
went to 0.
yeah.
This was the first time ever that we didn't get eggs.
Yeah. And this is not new here, right? We deal with it all the time.
The cold.
Yeah, the cold.
Yeah.
And we've never had it go to
And
zero.
I don't have a pest load. I don't have
They're not molting.
I don't have like a big rat problem. I don't have any real issues in the coop that I can think of.
Yeah.
Other than the feed.
Yeah. But what happened for us is our local co-op, which is where we typically get food from. We buy it in bulk. And I'll share some of that with you guys today. We bought 2,000 pounds
Mm-hmm.
today. Was it today or yesterday?
Yeah.
Today. Okay. And anyway, so I'll share that all with you guys. But we had our co-op was going through some renovations, so they shut down for like a month. And this is all about the exact same time. And so we started buying, Tractor Supply food and, tar water food, bomb guard food and whatever. And,
Mhm.
and the production really cut off. Then our, co-op opened back up. We went back to our normal food and now they're producing, although still not a lot, right? What'd you get 4 today? 6 today?
No. I got 3 today.
3 today.
I got 1
Yeah.
yesterday.
Let's see here.
One day I got 4.
Big B says tin foil indicated. I don't know what that is. Gypsy says, how old are your chickens? So we've probably got,
Well, there's some of every year.
yeah, I mean,
We hatch every year.
there's
So.
probably 10 that are 4 or 5 years old, but there's probably 20 out there that are a year old, right? I'm talking about hens. Then you got some 2-year-olds, some 3-year-olds, some 4-year-olds, but there's pretty much every mix.
year. Yeah.
Nito said, yeah, my birds have all but quit laying. I have some homesteading friends of mine who said that if they don't get laying here pretty quick, they're just going to butcher them all and they'll start over in the spring.
Really?
Yeah, because there's no sense in feeding them through the winter. If they're not going to be producing, and I kind of agree with this. I mean, I kind of agree with
There's
this.
a lot of birds to
I know.
butcher. I could see maybe the oldest ones, but good grief, the yearlings.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Maybe so the neighbor said to put a light in the coop, although we have never ever had a light in the coop. So
my granddaughter just started chickens this year in South Carolina, and they just started laying now that it's getting colder. And an instigator says, I'm confused. My understanding is a reduction in laying is completely normal and natural in the winter. It is 100%. And you're not going to get as many eggs in the winter. But I'm going to tell you, with 80 or 100 chickens out there,
you don't have 100.
You got a bunch. You don't even know how many you have. You don't even know how many you have.
And some are guineas.
You don't even know.
I mean, there's probably 100 birds.
Yeah. Anyway,
they're not all. There's not 100 chickens out there.
Anyway, whatever. The point is still the same: is that normally it would drop off, but not like this.
Not to none.
Yeah, you would go from getting 2 dozen or 3 dozen a day to you'd get a dozen a day,
yeah.
or something like that. But it wouldn't just dump off like it has. Instigator, I have my chickens not lay all winter and give their body a rest. Well, how do you get them not to lay?
I have them.
How do you tell them you have a production meeting, Terminator, and tell them to don't lay eggs? Let's see. The Loper is getting, I think, around a couple dozen a day. Yeah, which would be normal for us. Conserve Friend says chicken laying is also affected by sunlight duration. We thought about that too,
right.
But nothing's changed on our end. I mean, these guys, we've been raising chickens a lot of years, and we should be getting, in the cold of the winter, we should be getting a dozen a day now. You're not going to get the 3 or 4, but you're going to get a dozen a day, Anyway,
usually
a few other homesteaders temporarily used Tractor Supply, and hens stopped laying, went back to local organic, and they're laying again. That was in the early fall. Yeah, we just got our co-op back. So a week ago, 2 weeks ago. So we'll see. He says, I froze 50 dozen of eggs for the winter to give the chickens a rest. Yeah, but my question is, how do you get them to stop laying? Because it's not like we tell ours to lay them. They just lay them, So how do you tell them to stop? I guess is my experience.
Lock them up, maybe?
Yeah. Nito says, my experience is they slow down in the winter, but not abruptly stop. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
40 chickens laying about a dozen right now. See, that's what I would expect about right there, right? Lows in the 20s, but good southern exposure in their coop.
Right.
Amy says, I had a hawk attack the chicken. PTSD is real, and that flock hasn't been laying except for one hen. That's interesting.
Huh.
We put a timer in for the lights to simulate a longer day. Yeah, I have a question about this. I've always kind of thought that you didn't want to do that because, again, it gives the chickens a break. They go through their natural cycle.
Yeah.
And that they get whatever light there is, and it's just this is their cycle and their year, right, and how it goes through. And that I don't really want to substitute any of that. I want them to be laying less this time of year because it's just what they do. I think. Maybe.
That's what the internet says.
Yeah. Changing feed from anything to anything can affect laying. Nothing is 100% but common. Yeah, I agree with that. Mario says, Tag, you first need to learn how to speak chicken before you can tell them to stop. Yeah, right. How do you tell them to stop, right? So we bought 2,000 pounds today. This is how we do it. Thought we would just share it with you guys. They come in a big bag. Like in this particular case today, we got them in 1,000-pound bags. And then we take the skid loader and we lift them up, and there's a hole in the bottom of the bag, and you untie the knot, and we drag these barrels up underneath and fill up the barrels and then screw the lids on. And we filled up a 5-barrel, 2,000 pounds fit in 5 barrels. You would think that it would go further, but it don't.
Yeah. Well, and they weren't even all full.
Yeah.
Like this one right here is 3/4 of the way.
Yeah. And
So I thought that we would fill 8 is what I was thinking.
you filled 5.
Yeah.
That puts them at about 400 pounds a barrel.
Yeah.
Full of feed. What did you tell them about what's in your feed?
Because
she has it. She has it mixed specifically.
It has the bulk corn that's in the coarse cracked, because I had seen it in the feed before that was like fine grain, and it was like powder, and when you put that out, then it just like really absorbs into the ground. Basically, they start stepping on it. This is coarse, and then it was what was it? Dried distillers grain bulk.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, then you mix in with this, and then she'll take this feed and she'll mix it with oats, alfalfa pellets, black sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
Anything else? There's something else in there. Well, the cows use a little bit of sweet feed, right? Sometimes.
No, because I put the brome out, and so the brome has a higher, because I didn't have that last year. And so the protein count, so if the girls are bred, you don't want them to get too big, because you don't want the babies to, you don't want them to struggle to calf. So the brome is going to have a higher protein count. And so if I'm feeding that to them, I mean, I'll throw in the other stuff too. So if it's cold and they don't have the other, they'll eat that. Or if one's picked on, they'll eat that other one. But if they're eating the brome, they really don't need all the other stuff, because they're getting what they need from the grass. And cows really aren't like people. They're not like, oh, I need some potatoes today, and then maybe I'll have some rice next day. And we need a little bit of
cow?
We need a little bit of peas and a little bit of broccoli. No, they're just like, feed me, see.
Terminator says my chickens are locked up in darkness throughout the winter.
That's why.
And I drop their protein and they stop laying. Got it.
Why?
Yep. Mickey wants to know, where do you source the barrels? So I buy these at a local auction quite often, but you can get them at like beef packing plants, and they're food grade barrels. I like them because they have the screw top on them, versus the clamp top or anything like that.
Some people have these barrels, and then there's like a white inner gasket that goes on the inside of these. I don't have any that have that inner seal, but I've seen some, and that's pretty cool.
I like these barrels a lot. I paid $10 a piece for them last time we got them. The local beef packing plant, I think I can get them for about $7.
They said they don't. The product that comes in those barrels, they aren't. They're not using, and so they don't know when they'll get any in. But typically, would you find them on the internet for like $35
on the internet? But at an auction, like I said, I think I gave $10 a piece for them.
Yeah, and we had to buy 40 of them to get that. So we ended up buying the whole lot, and then came and then split them with people.
Amy says there is a book, How to Speak Chicken. I embarrassingly have it on Kindle.
Oh no.
Instigator said, been seeing a lot lately about the rebranded wheeled articulating loader coming from Bad Boy. Looks like a skid steer with wheels, but longer wheelbase and doesn't tear up the grass. Yeah, but Bobcat made something similar not long ago. Big B says, I'm fermenting my 7-grain mixture. They go on strike if there is any feed brand deviation. Yeah.
That's what I'm noticing. And I don't like that.
Lazy Loper says, our girls get strictly organic wild grains, which I mix to an appropriate 18% of wheat, barley, field, or split green pea and black oil sunflower seeds.
I ferment it.
Yep.
I want to write that down.
And Louise says, listen to B with the cow jargon. I'm so proud of you. Yeah. Let's see here. I think I got everybody in there. Anyway,
He thought,
so
let's get some sweet feed and we'll mix that in there on Tuesdays. And I'm like, no.
yeah, this 2,000 pounds cost us about $264. Was that right? I can't read it on the screen.
Like 230.
$230 for 2,000 pounds. So if you do the math of that, it's considerably less money than going to a Tractor Supply or, you know, something like that.
Yeah. And then we got oats. We got 1,000 pounds of oats the last time. And I think I might do that again.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like $160.
Yeah.
That's probably what you were thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I like the idea of you mixing a lot of that together. Speaking chicken sounds a lot like speaking Chinese. Now repeat after me. Ba 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 bak. Ba ba bak. Can you say that? Lazy Lopez says I stay away from corn and oats due to the pesticides used. Yep, good call.
Yep.
All right, what else we got going on here, Pumpkin? The picture on the right with the truck, we split a load of animal feed with American Roots Farm, and that's just them loading some barrels in the back of the truck. What's one of my favorite things about having community is all the different trucks that pull down the driveway and things leave and things come. And
yep,
I've always been fond of that. I don't know why you sent me the other picture other than
because I thought it was pretty cool with all of them sitting there, and then there was a turkey up on top like that.
Yeah, those are three of B's stalls. She has 6 in her barn that she feeds. Each cow has their individual stall, and they know which stall is theirs, which I find fascinating.
Mm-hmm. They're smart.
That comes times to feed them, like they come right in. There's something fascinating you might see in that picture. She has the garage doors halfway down, just to help keep some of the weather out. Right?
Yeah. I'd like to put something on the sides of the doors too to block off everything except for the gate.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't gotten that far. That's time.
Yeah, we'll next year we'll put up a bunch of stuff, but something along the way. When we built this barn, I wanted a garage door on each stall so it could be completely shut down all the way. And so that might have been silly, might not have been, but anyway, each stall has a garage door, and then with the garage door up, it has another fence in there with a gate that allows them to come and go. Let's see here. Will be cool.
I've never really locked them in.
Chickens are omnivores. They need some kind of animal feed like fish meal, no more than like 5%. Amy says, my bird herd doesn't use feed that quickly, or I would totally go the bulk route. Yeah, ours do.
Well, I mean, there's cows and turkeys and geese and guineas, and the dogs love the feed.
Well, then
smells like candy.
There's one other side too, guys, is that when you store, especially in the winter here, we can store grains long term because it doesn't, the moisture doesn't get into it, it doesn't mold and all that. And so I'm always a big believer, and I bark at B all the time, as lovingly as I can, that I don't want to be out doing it in February when it's minus 30 outside. So stock up right now. Fill every drum you've got. Fill everything because it won't go bad, and we'll get through the winter. Also,
you just don't want too much left over because it will mold.
It will
fast.
But if you can get yourself in a situation to where you have more storage, this is true for everything, guys, then what that more storage does is gives you more options.
Yeah.
When you propane, you know, people talk to me all the time about how can you say you live off grid if you have propane? We use propane for hot water. Well, I can tell you, with a 1,000-gallon propane tank, using 150 gallons of propane a year, what that means is that tank is 7 years, you know, or 6 years of propane.
Yeah.
So with that kind of storage, I get to buy always when the price is low. I never have to buy when it's expensive.
Lowest.
You know, so I think it's just good to store up on these things. It's like the next level of prepping. It's beyond the, you know, I'm going to put some canned beans up. I'm storing, instead of that, I'm storing animal feed, you know, boxes of screws, and yes, propane.
And yes.
Let me see here. Mario says, okay, you sound a little more like a cow. B sounds a little more like a chicken. Oh, he said crow. Okay, no, crow. A little more like a chicken. Come on, B, you can do it. Do it, babe. Come on.
What?
He wants you to make a chicken impersonation.
Bok, 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 bok. No, you do it.
Hey, Romans girl, what's going on? Says, hello, freedom friends. I'm here. The party can start. See, Mickey says it's only silly if it doesn't work for your system. Yeah, and they're all her systems, so I guess I can't say much. Big B says, you mean to speak slowly because you like to write stuff like this now. 7-grain recipe: corn,
Okay.
peas, wheat, barley, Milo, oats, alfalfa, and fermenting it is the key. Got it?
Yep.
Okay. Jen says, how about those separated plastic panels they use in large walk-in freezers? For what would we use those for? I must have missed a comment. Amy B says, I did an early pay on propane and it saved us about $500.
Yeah.
That's good money.
That's a good savings.
Yeah,
look at that. That's cool.
Yeah, I've been thinking about building some feeders because in our world, I bring a bale of hay. So we have those big round bales of hay, right? And so I bring them with the skid loader, or she'll get them with the tractor or whatever. And we'll bring them in. And we put them in and have a hay ring that goes around it, but it is not long at all. And they've got that whole hay bale just crushed. And so
they waste it.
They waste a lot.
Quite a bit of it.
Yeah. And so I've been looking at different designs and I thought I would share some. This is not one I would use. The things I don't like about this one, it's using cattle panels, which means the openings are fairly small. This will be okay for a goat, but this is not something I would use for a cow. Furthermore, the floor is wood, which all that means is you're going to be replacing it shortly.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm not a big fan of that.
The moisture.
Jen says in the cow doorways to their stalls from the outside. Oh God. Yeah. I think that anything I could find in bulk, I could probably use, right? Amy B says, Big B, won't fermented feed freeze before the animals get much eaten out of it? That's a good question. Here's another one. Now, this was one that you could actually buy. And I liked this one because it was up off the ground.
I like the roof.
What I don't like about it is it would be a lot harder to get the feed into it, I think.
Oh.
Right.
How would you get it in?
Well, I would imagine one of those opens up, right? I mean, you can see a couple hinges right here and right here. So this whole thing probably opens up.
Okay.
You're bringing it in. But this seems like it's going to be a lot of hands-on,
Yeah, trying to fit a bale in there.
Yeah, to make it work. So the one I think I like the best is this one. I like this because it's only 3-sided, which means I can just drive the bales of hay in. There's no gate to open.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right? You can just pack that full of bales of hay, make the openings big enough for the cows.
This looks like it might be a gate that swings and shuts maybe.
Maybe.
Or maybe that's just another paddock.
Yeah, but I really like this idea. I think this is a great one. If we
I love that.
Put a gutter on the end of it, run it to a trough. Now you can
I love that even more.
You can be collecting some water. And again, this becomes very low maintenance for me. I pick it up, I dump it off, pick it up, dump it off. You're stacking 2 bales in there, and it's you notice how the bottom of the feeder, like the bottom of the pens, the gaps between the pipes are a lot shorter, a lot smaller. And it allows less hay to fall out, right? So I would want this bottom run right here be.
It also keeps the goats from climbing in there.
Yeah. So I really like this idea. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. But to me, this sure seems to make a whole lot of sense. Let me see here. Big B says to Amy, it sure does, but they still love it as far as freezing goes. Yeah, B's never fermented her food, have you?
I have a little bit, but it didn't seem to. It was extra because I just happened to do it up here and then carry it down there.
So anyway, I may try to make a run at building something like this for B and for me, right? That just makes it easier. It's way less waste. Because again, the bale now, they probably waste half of it, right?
Yeah.
Eat half and waste half.
Probably.
Louise says, you need to see the one that Gypsy built in Tennessee. Cows ate from the top. The goats went under and ate.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm just, and.
That would be cool if you could feed both, because right there, the goats would only be able to get what they could reach.
Yeah. Tell His Highness to please send me a picture.
Yeah. Let's post it.
Yeah. Jen says that looks nice. Yeah. I think this is a good low maintenance solution. And I'm always looking for that. I don't want to have to.
I've never seen a gate like that though. Like with squiggly lines.
Yeah, it must be 4 feeders. I would just make my own. I just go get some steel and weld my own panels so it fit exactly the way I wanted and all that. But Skane's girl has FETME. I don't know what that is, but is that a good thing? Are you taking antibiotics for FETME?
Uh-oh. Is it contagious? So some kind of communication.
Gregory says, look at Apache Manufacturing for some of their bale feeders. Okay. Write that down. Apache Manufacturing. We can look at some of their pictures. Louise says that His Highness is going to send it to me. Super cool.
Oh, thank you.
So, anyways, I just thought I'd share this picture with you guys because this to me makes a lot of sense. It's got a concrete floor in it, which makes super easy cleanup. Right? It's going to keep the bales dry. I can collect a little bit of water off of it, and they can't just completely decimate the bale.
Yeah, lay in it.
Right? And if you make it just wide enough that you can stuff a bale in there with 2, I think that your feed you'd last twice as long. What do you think?
I think so too.
Yeah, Skanesgirl says fermented. My chickens didn't seem too impressed. Maybe it's like drinking coffee. It's an acquired taste. I don't know.
I think if that's all they had, they'd get used to it fast.
No, probably. So this was our first snow. And before any of you guys, oh yeah, real quick, Big B says, do not ferment your chickens.
Ferment the chickens?
Yeah. Jen says water catcher and maybe a solar panel for security lighting. Yeah, it'd be super easy to do out there.
Oh,
super easy. But
if you put a solar panel out there, then you could also run a heater on it.
No.
In the daytime.
No.
An electric heater.
No.
For the water.
No.
Yeah, people do it all the time.
Babe.
They do it all the time.
Okay. To run anything that produces heat
is going to take a lot of
power.
How do they do that?
I could run it during the daytime if I put 4 600-watt solar panels.
Is that what they're doing? Those farmers in the field?
Yeah, I mean I'd have to see what the heater needed, but it wouldn't be quite that simple. But yeah, you need batteries at night. But anyway, so we got our first snow. This is my wonderful home. Before anybody says I know my lawnmower should be in the shop, I didn't get it in there.
Yeah.
So we got snowed on, but let's see here, where are we at here? Backrat says henbucha. My chickens love chicken scratch fermented.
Chicken scratch fermented.
I have had calves crawl through those style of feeder panels. Yeah, I think what I would do, Gregory, let me go back here real quick. I think what I would do is like the bottom 2 feet of it like that, maybe go and put expanded metal or put something that they're not going to climb through, I think I would build it a little different along the bottom for that exact reason. Let's go back to my snow picture. There we go.
You'd have to be able to let them in there far enough so that they can reach into the halfway, I would think, to get. Otherwise, they'd eat from both sides, and then there'd be like a thin layer of food down the center, wouldn't they?
No, I think if you only make it wide enough for the bale, you only make it that wide, they would be able to left the holes big enough. I think that they'd get
to it all.
I think they would.
Or the majority of it.
Yeah, Jen says I was thinking that but I didn't want to add to the Wallapini list. I'll never get to Wallapini. Hey, Tag, your lawnmower should be in the shop. Do you know that? Thanks, Mario. Good looking out, buddy.
Yeah.
You the man. Good looking out.
Yeah. I tried to move my mower and it has a dead battery. Like, how is that even possible already?
Well, I could write a book on replacing batteries.
No kidding.
Yep. Our panels obviously need cleaned off, but
yeah, that's what I was headed out there to do.
Yeah.
I just took a quick picture beforehand because.
But first snow.
Yeah.
And snow is kind of pretty, But
and it snowed all day.
Yeah. And you know what I see when I look at a picture like this? I just see all the work I need to do. Like that needs pod 4 needs painted.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, siding above the shop.
Yeah. Like I just see all the work that needs to be done.
Mower in the garage.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So speaking about solar, I wanted to share with you guys something. So this is 2 separate systems. As you guys know, I have 2. We have one at the community building, We have one at the house. They're the identical system. They're both the grid down readout 54 kilowatt hour system. Both of them. They're identical. Now, the one at the community building, as you guys know, is wired to the house. So I can use both of these at the house, which is, I can't even tell you how cool.
How
right?
come one has a generator and one doesn't?
Because I have that turned on one and not on the other.
Why is it turned on? It's
Because-
not run. It's not.
I got the wires all in there, and so I just turned that part of it on when I didn't do it on the community building side. But I could.
That won't affect it.
It has no impact.
There's not like power to it,
No.
but it's not turned on or something.
No. So how cool is it, by the way, having both solar systems?
Oh, it's next level.
Yeah. Yeah. Gregory wants to know, how long does it take to clean off the panels? 30 minutes?
With my poll, it took like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But I was also trying to film a video and
Yeah, which always makes it harder.
yeah.
But what I wanted to show you guys in this is, if you look at the first two pictures there, that's from the app that runs the grid down.
Yeah.
These are the two systems. And if you look at the bottom, they're performing very differently.
And this is at the exact same time.
Yeah. Yeah, this is actually within 1 second of each other, as long as it took me to snip clip it.
Oh,
It's on the exact same day, right? It was on the 2nd of December, 2025. And one of them is producing, as you look, the first one's producing 864 watts from the sun,
Oh, I know.
when the one on the right is producing 3,600 watts from
Yeah.
the sun. So what would make two systems that were absolutely identical produce differently? Don't say anything. I know you know why, but
I know why.
yep. And
Only because I live it.
yep. And even if you look at the graphs below, you can see the fluctuations in battery usage and all of that stuff, but they're operating, even though they're the same, they're operating very different. And there's one key component why. And I just wanted to see, oh, look at that. Mickey for the win. Snow. One set had its panels cleaned off already. The other did not.
Yeah.
One was covered in snow. So the first one that was producing 864 watts hadn't had the snow removed off of it.
Right.
The one
snow
that's
is
producing,
snow
3,600 watts had the snow already removed.
But pretty cool that it's still producing 800 watts at
Covered in snow.
covered in snow.
Tulip Little Angels, by the way, welcome in, says, I would suggest an oversized roof to keep the hay drier. I agree with this. And make one of those panels a gate such that you can add feed or clean without having to go into the cow pen. Yep, I like all of that.
I like all that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nito says, no kidding, Ted. I have so much work to repair the mulch layer from the ground mount being put up, or I will have a ton of weeds to deal with in the spring.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an awesome production cupboard. Yeah, because we have two systems, and I thought long and hard about wiring them just together. But at the end of the day, I really like the idea that there's a backup. I can, with one lever, one big transfer switch, I can decide which system I'm using at the house. I think it just gives me huge security and huge safety. And we've only had to switch it over one time.
And it was so easy.
Yeah.
Like
Tell them about it, because I had you do it. So
the breaker to turn on the line that comes up to the house is so hard to flip that breaker. But when you come over to the powerhouse to actually turn the transfer switch to turn it on, it's like you could just do it with your fingertips.
Yep. Very, very easy.
Very, very
It's
easy.
I just bought a big transfer switch, and it literally, you're pulling a lever and it's switching between the two systems.
I didn't do it that fast though. I like went with the off and then down.
But it was easy.
Yeah.
And what's really cool that I'm learning about this, being able to do it like this, is what it does is, so like, let's say we get our main system and it gets down to where the battery's at like 40%. And we go out and switch it over to the other system, the community building system, and it's probably at 90% when we make the switch. So we're switch over. Now we've got 4 or 5 days right there. And that allows that other system to catch up, because there's no longer anything being pulled from it. All of the power it's generating is going back into charging the batteries. And so you're draining one system, you get to, whatever percent that I like, about 40%. We switch over to the other system. As I'm draining that one down to 40%, the other one's charging back up. And so it really, I don't know this 100% for sure yet, because this is our first full year going through it. I don't think though that Tag and B will experience red days anymore.
Well, we definitely won't experience them like we had ever in the
Yeah,
past.
yeah. So this is pretty.
So I mean,
pretty
so
exceptional.
far we haven't, but also
Yeah.
we're not in February.
We're not yet. No, we're not. But we did make it through 9 days of no sun
Although December 21st is winter solstice.
Mhm.
So after that, the days start getting longer again.
Yeah, it's not the length of the day that's such a big deal. It's the cloud cover, right? When we get those winter storms
That's
that
true.
last 10 days and
Yeah.
it's snowing the whole time, you're not getting anything.
Yeah.
And so this, I think, again, helps us again level up. Big B says, so while Tag was making this picture, B was dealing with the snow. Correct.
Yeah.
Big B, this is called proper training.
I don't mind scooping off the snow. And in fact, like Tag will leave the snow on the walking paths. It bothers me tremendously to have snow on the walking paths. So I will go out and I will shovel it off myself. And he's just like, just leave it. It's going to be 40 tomorrow. And I'm like, I don't care. I would really rather you not walk on it, because once you walk on it, then it becomes like solid. And then those are obviously the walking paths too. So it's like makes it more slippery, and one big scoop and you just like get it off, and then you walk on it, and then you don't have that problem. And then when it's 40, that path is like totally melted because you remove the snow instead of just adding to the layers of what you're walking on.
The king himself sent us a short video of a calf running around their feeder. We'll watch it tonight when we get done. But anyway, I think this is just super cool.
Yeah.
I think it really just kind of highlights the redundancies, the importance of redundancies. And it's just really, really neat for me. And I thought it was cool that one was covered in snow and one wasn't. Big congratulations, Mickey, that he knew that. He knew that right away, that what it was snow. But it's fun for me to pick up the phone and I can monitor both the systems. And, again, it just gives us big redundancy. And we'll keep you guys, posted on whether or not we have any more red days. But since we've done this, we have yet to have one.
Yeah.
Gregory says, oh, I love this question. What kind of measures do you have to deal with to conserve electricity? This is a great question. So when we had our old system was a 38 kilowatt hour system. So now we have 108. So to put that in perspective, right? And so before, the absolute best things that I had to conserve energy was B, because B is an energy Nazi. I come down, even with 108 kilowatt hour system like we have here, I'll come down in the morning and B is cooking coffee on the wood stove with her headlamp on, not a light on in the house.
I don't want the headlight. I don't want the lights on in the house because it's dark outside.
What does that have to do with anything?
I want what I can see lit up, but I don't want everything around me lit up.
Why?
I just don't.
Why? Give me one reason why that
don't.
makes any sense.
I just don't. I don't want to be illuminated from the outside.
Okay, so what you do then is you put a light on your head, so the only thing anybody can see is
It's
you.
me walking around.
And how does that make
I
sense?
just want.
Oh my goodness.
Because if I turn it off and I look outside, then I can see a lot of things.
Yeah. So the first answer, Gregory, is I have a B. And that's probably the biggest one. The other thing is even before, if somebody doesn't even have solar yet, when you're buying appliances, like money to me is number 2, right? What does it cost? First is how energy efficient is it? When we went to put in heaters and air conditioners, I went to mini splits. And not only did I go to mini splits, I went to the most energy efficient mini split I could find, which is the Mitsubishi. And they were more money. I could have bought other ones cheaper. But again, I was concerned about energy. So there's a lot of little things that we do to do that. The other thing is really just being conscious of it, right? Don't leave a light on. I mean, if I walk in the house and there's a room that's empty and the light's on, I turn it off. Even when the sun's shining outside, I can't help it.
Yeah.
Right. You still kind of get into that mode of it. I've told this story a million times. When I was first teaching B how to shoot her AR, I was just super dedicated to the fact that she was going to shoot with iron sights for 2 years. And that's it. I wasn't going to put an optic on it. And because once you learn to do that and then you go to an optic, the optic is super nice. However, the optic will fail. So you always can go back to that iron sight. It's very, very critical. So I think us growing up off grid in a small system, 30, I say small, relatively small, 38 kilowatt hour system taught B to be an energy Nazi.
Yeah.
Now she's got power coming out her ears. And now I've got to teach her, although now you know how to do that.
Yeah.
You've got the power, use it.
Yeah.
You know, because
you had the heater on earlier today.
Heck yeah.
I could hear something running and
Yeah.
I'm walking around the house like, what is that sound?
Yeah, I
And
would
then I
have.
look out the window and I'm like, oh, the fan is turning. He's got the heater on up there.
Yeah, I would have never in our previous system would have I ran the heaters with the mini splits.
Yeah,
I just wouldn't have. We'd have just used the word stove, and that would have been that. But now there's so much power
and
that
he's in one room and he's like, oh, I'm so
yeah, I just turned the heater on. I just turned the mini split heater on.
and
It's so
turning the
nice.
heat.
Yeah, it's super cool. So, Gregory, there's a lot of things that we do to conserve energy. It's selecting the right tools, the right appliances. It's shutting lights off behind you. It's making sure that that everything you do is energy conscious. And I talk about this all the time. Energy is where it's at, you guys. I'm telling you, it is where it's at. That's where that is the carrot and the hook that'll hang us the easiest is energy, because of the way the life's gotten to this world of convenience, and plus everything else runs on electricity.
Yeah.
I got this week to have a really cool conversation with a guy named Dr. Ed Savage. I don't know if you guys know who that is or not. So he works for a company called Meditech, and he has spent, he's about 70 years old. He's spent his whole career testing electromagnetic pulse and and the effects on airplanes, the effects on buildings, the effects on,
cool.
Yeah, really cool. So him and Dr. Bill Radowski run Meditech. And Bill Radowski served on the EMP commission. So I had him down this last week, and we were doing a bunch of testing at EMP Shield. And anyway, I got to go have lunch with him and all that. So we just got to hang out a little bit and just to listen to the conversations to him about the vulnerability of everything because of the way our system is, and not just from an EMP, from cyber, from all of these things. And it's all energy. It's all energy based now. If you don't have some kind of energy sovereignty, right?
Yeah.
It is. I'm telling you, it's going to be absolutely the biggest one. Big B says seeing those metrics definitely helps. I agree. Bill Fallon, how are you? Is B saying that she likes working in the dark? Yeah, apparently, Bill. Apparently. and it's crazy. She don't have to.
It's okay.
She literally don't have to.
I recharge my headlamp. I don't have to worry about when I charge it. I just like it I don't want to turn on every light that I'm walking around from room to room trying to get stuff done and moving stuff around, and it's dark.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to flip the light on from room to room. Everywhere I look, the light is on because I have
it on your head.
On my head. And it's not dark around me.
I'm a firm believer in monitoring historical data. It's how you really learn what is happening. I agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. He goes on to say everything is energy. E equals MC square. Yep. Bill Fallon says we used 53 kilowatt the day before Thanksgiving. Wow.
What do we use usually?
I don't know what we average. I don't really watch it anymore because now I know the power that we have.
Oh, if the sun's shining, I'm like,
it doesn't even matter.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. Especially as the prices increases with the more data centers and AI companies requiring more energy, 100%. And it's not, prices are part of it, Jen. I agree with that. And I think it's a way we can insulate ourselves. We talk about insulating, not isolating. But I think there's another side. It makes the attack vector smaller, right? The fact is, there's really not a way to take my power from me. You could come in with a virus through the internet, right? Maybe. If the systems are connected to the internet, which is why we really wanted to make sure that the grid downs would operate on Bluetooth and no internet.
Yeah.
If you stop that train coming in, there's really not a lot of ways. They're pretty small footprint. You got to protect for some power surges, some lightning strikes, things like that. But I think it really, really isolates us. And I'm super happy to have it. Nito says we are happy with how ours is working. A new peace of mind. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah. Just the peace of mind.
Yeah.
To know that it's there.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting, Nito, to talk to you over this next 6, 8, 12 months, as we continue to do lives and all of those, just to see how you learn to grow into it and what it does and what it doesn't do, right? Because everything has its limitations. But this has been super exciting, and I'm super happy to be where we are. We, leveled up, and we didn't mean to. I didn't set out the year to do this, but it's just kind of how it worked out. And so I'm pretty excited about it. Mario says, now we just need a DeLorean to put your solar system into, and I think we could make a time machine. 88 gigawatts power, buddy. How does that to convert to kilowatts? Do we know how a gigawatt? Yeah, Jen says a blessing in disguise. It absolutely was. I've been spending my time at, there's a mechanic shop not far from me. That's actually where my old truck is that I've been restoring for the last few years, is actually in that shop as we work on it. But we're getting ready to paint it. And I'm so excited. I can't even tell you how excited I am. But we got to build a paint booth. And so I've been over there the last 2 days, just building this room. So we're going to build our own paint booth so that we can paint my truck, which I'm super excited.
And you're building this inside his existing shop?
Yeah, in my shop. Does a solar system have to be installed and operational, or merely purchased to receive the 30% tax credit? It has to be installed and operational according to their definition. I have no idea how they would know, Amy, whether it was installed or not. Right. I've taken, right. I mean, I've gotten the tax credit on every system I've bought. I've never had anyone show up to ask me anything.
Right.
I don't have any idea how they would know, but if you read the rules, what it says is that it has to be in use. We have solar, but not connected yet. In the meantime, we monitor our on-grid usage through the app with the power company. Cool. Keep in mind the high usage the day before Thanksgiving. We had company that only knows how to turn things on. Yeah. Boy, do I know that, right? Felt like I had little kiddos instead. Yeah. It's funny how you turn into it. But in fairness, Nito, so I got to tell you, back when, before this whole off-grid journey and all of this, I didn't really worry about turning the light off. I really didn't spend a lot of time thinking about it. And now it's like everything is energy.
Oh, yeah.
Our activities are based on the weather. And what can we run today and what we can't run, even though now she doesn't even have to pay attention to it barely, but, when to iron clothes, and I need a suit or whatever it is. And
I don't think I would iron on a cloudy day.
You could.
I guess it depends on how much.
You could just find it.
There's so many sunny days though. It's just, I would just
wait.
I would just look at the weather and go, oh, Tuesdays and Friday looks like my best days.
Yeah.
I'll be part of the management.
I'll be sharing a lot of pictures of the truck as we go on. Cause like I said, we're getting closer. It's all new all the way. It's something I've been working on for years, and I can't wait.
Is that electricity running through there? That black line?
I don't see a black line.
That black line running through there?
This right there?
Yeah.
No, it's a metal piece of angle iron that's on the outside of the building. And so I'm gonna apply.
So insulation is just
gapped. Well, here's the thing: is that we got to be able to get it up to 70, 80 degrees to paint it. Yeah. So this is a huge shop. To get it to 70 or 80 degrees is rough. So we decided to build a 14 by 24 paint booth. And so we went down, got all of the material, and I started late yesterday, and then I got to work on it a few hours this morning, like from 8 to 1, something like that today.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow I'll go back and we'll finish it up so that they can start painting, because it's time to jam all the doors and all of those kind of things. So I'm super, super, super excited about it. Says, as a single mom trying to raise 3, I have always worried about affordability. Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people do, but it's just crazy how it trains you. And, B got trained that, hey, we got a day or two of power. If the sun don't come out, it's candlelight time, it's lantern
it's getting
time.
Romantic.
You're right. Bill tells me I am the most frugal person he has ever met. Use the date assigned once the system is commissioned. Yep. All right. What else? So B talked me into working in Pod 4, didn't you?
Yes.
So I agreed to give her a couple days into pod 4. And so I
And
just,
that was it. He was out. He was
I'm
like,
done. Right.
You got your 2 days. And
Yep. And so I decided that I would work on tiling the bathroom. So B took a picture of my tile saw, and I'm in there tiling, but
yeah, the tile saw.
There
He
you go.
had a shower curtain.
I got it all tiled. Right.
Had a shower curtain hooked up behind the tile saw so
Yep.
that I into a bucket so that I could catch as much of the debris that's flying off of the saw.
Yeah.
And he went and got a TV from his shop and brought that over so that he could have his TV and watch it while he was.
Yeah. I don't really
Tiling.
watch it. I listen to it. I listen to podcasts.
He brings a whole dang TV with him.
I actually have, you guys
to
will laugh at me.
job sites.
I have a 36-inch
I don't know.
flat screen TV. I
Has
move
been
it.
to every room in this house.
Oh yeah, I move it to anywhere I'm working. If I'm working in the mechanic shop, it is funny. I just grab it, take a screw, and screw it to the wall, plug it in, and then I'm watching whatever I want to watch, listening to whatever podcast I want to listen to. But anyway, I move it around with me. And let me go back to that picture. I'll show you guys. That TV that's sitting up in there is the best TV ever. That thing has been in every room, everything. So anyway, but the cool news is the bathroom got tiled, and now she's got to grout it.
Actually, before I grout it, I have to clean the mud out of not mud, but the tile mud out of the cracks where I don't want it because some of it needs to be cleaned up.
Yeah. Jen says that's so exciting. Yeah. Amy B says, with the dollar not holding its value, I have heard people taking their fiat currency and converting it into tangible items. Well, nothing's going to get cheaper. I can assure you of that. It's not. And especially with the tariffs and stuff coming on, I just looked into a product to add to one of my companies, but a couple of the raw material pieces I would have to get from overseas. I did a little checking into it, and it's a 47% tariff. So not only do I got to buy it, then I got to ship it. And when you're shipping pallets of stuff from overseas, babe, it's expensive. So like one shipment might be $14,000-$15,000 just for the shipping. Then they value it, whatever the value is on the pallet, and then I get another 47% upcharge on it. I actually decided not to do it because of it. Even though I think it would have been, I could have ended up with a good product that would have benefited people. We just decided not to do it.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense
too
at all.
Expensive to run that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but the good news is I got in there, I got out of there. Now B's got painting to do, and she can get in, and if she'll get it grouted, then I'll install the sink, the toilet.
Are you tiling up, or are you done tiling?
I'm waiting for direction from you.
I don't know. So like in the shower, where's the picture of the shower? You can't see it.
You're looking into the shower.
I know, but you can't see the wall of the shower.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the black wall, but you can't see the white wall.
Yep.
But anyway, above where the sink goes there, he was going to tile it. And I said, no, just leave it. And then now we're contemplating tiling it. So yes, it just depends.
And boy, do I know that's true. Mario says, great job, brother. Looks beautiful. Thank you much. And Gypsy says, Louise allows me a half a day off a year. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah. Do you think he's getting a good deal?
When does that happen?
Yeah.
Are you going to buy cows?
Yeah. Whatever you do, land of the homesteaders, do not send your wife to look at cows with Louise.
Can.
It's a bad idea. Just telling you. This is just advice coming from, one bro to another. Bad idea.
No, it's not.
Bad idea all the way around. Anyway,
just being so negative.
I'm glad to be through that. Here's some trivia for you guys. What is this pile?
IKEA.
Huh? Like
IKEA furniture.
Yeah. This is a homesteading off-grid question. What is this pile?
That pickup sticks.
Mario goes, when did we start getting an entire half day off? No one notified me. We know that. Yeah. So Jen says it's kindling. So it is. That's right. It's future kindling. So what I do is when I'm in a construction project, all of my scrap that's left over, that's small like that, I sit down and you can actually see that bucket with the blue lid right there and the saw sitting next to it. Because if the pieces were too long, I got to cut them in half. So what I do is I sit down.
Oh, that's funny. You brought the saw into it.
I sit down on the bucket and turn on a podcast, and I take all my scrap and I chop it up into kindling. And then you guys can see that gray tub sitting right there next to the saw. I fill one of those gray tubs with it, 1, 2, 3, whatever it takes. And then I store the kindling, and we'll use the kindling for starting fires. So none of the material build went to waste. This is what's left over from the time that I was in pod 4 trying to get everything finished up, and now it's kindling, and we'll burn it all off. But I say it's a homesteading thing because I don't look at scrap building material the same anymore.
Yeah.
It's not going. I mean, it's getting chopped up. It's getting put.
Use it once, use it twice.
Right. I mean, there's absolutely will be nothing, nothing left there. Instigator says, I thought that was the National Guard was actually for excuse for the guys to get together and blow some stuff up 1 week in a month. I agree with that. Yeah, a lot of perfect answers. Kindling. I think my dad, says Lisa, he was so frugal that we grew up completely aware of every light on, the additional cost of hot water instead of cold, etc. He was raised by people who endured the Great Depression.
Yeah.
Yep. Gregory's right. Kindling. Yeah, and again, for me, it's just about that. To me, that's free. Because it was material that I would have thrown out.
Yeah.
Right. It was the little
burned out in the yard
1 foot pieces, that's at the end of a board that you cut, that now gets, moved into something else. Amy says exactly. Lisa grandma used to tell us that we were burning pennies. Now I am a headlamp in the dark person too. Go be. I just think it's weird. Yeah, Skanes Girl said, I use a recharge bee.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bee's got hers plugged in during the day. And then I just think it's weird because you're not really, to turn on an LED bulb in a can light, you're using 20 watts of power. You're using no power. None. And then you don't have to walk around with that thing on your head. Yep. And then the ash is soil amendment and charcoal is biochar. That's right.
Yep.
Absolutely right. Yeah, Gregory says could be toys for kids. That's true. Nope, it's just kindling and
with a glue gun.
Yeah. Oh, could you imagine a
kid with a glue gun and a
hot glue gun and
sticks like that? Yeah, because we had one like that, and he made some pretty big castles.
Yeah, Amy B says, but the light is exactly where you want it. Yeah, in the ceiling above you that lights up the whole room.
Or just wherever your head goes, you just point your head, point your eyes wherever you want it, and it just follows. That's what I like.
Yep. Big B says, great time of year to knock out those indoor projects. 100% agreed. And hopefully we're going to get moved into pod 4 before long.
Yeah.
You agree with that? Or is that going to be on your 2026 to-do list?
Yeah. I want it to be this year, but we've got like 3 weeks left.
I've been done for a year.
That's not true. You were just in there tiling, buddy.
And
what are you talking about?
Okay, and in the time that I
have tile to do,
in the time that I got that bathroom tiled, what did you get finished in pod 4? In
the time that you got the bathroom finished?
Yeah, while I was working in there on tile.
So 2 days ago?
Yes.
I was ironing your clothes one day, and then the second day I was tending to your mother. I had to get her groceries. I had to go to the bank. I had to deliver the cat locker that you gave her.
This is why it's not done.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I still have to go get her envelopes. Mm-hmm.
Jen said it also helps to not blind you first thing in the morning, gently awaken your circadian rhythm.
Yes.
Yeah, Skanes Girl says, not when you got one battery power station. 20 watts is huge.
Huge.
Yeah, we remember that, Skanes Girl. There was a time when, I didn't have hardly any power and you had to build up to it.
Yeah.
There was a time for that, Reminder, you guys, we're going to do the Freeman Festivus on January the 3rd. they're still working out all the details. So I don't really have anything else to share with you guys other than we're going to do it. And so anybody that could be around, you're obviously everybody is welcome.
So if you're coming, let us know.
Yeah. Nito says, I have to be careful walking around the house in the dark. I don't want to step on the dog again and fall. That hurt and took me out for 6 months. Yeah, turn the light on.
Those are tripping hazards.
Turn the light on. Just turn the light on, right? Not that big a deal. Would you agree?
I just use my headlamp.
Mm-hmm. Just use your headlamp.
Yeah. And I charge it usually all night long.
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing is we've been at this an hour and 46 minutes, and I haven't gotten to any of the good news.
Because you're windy.
You're windy. Yeah. Apocrypha says the gathering of the clans usually indicates claymores, swords, bagpipes, and kilts. We just need someone to lead the way on that point. You know, instigator, you just need to come out and bring your kilt, your bagpipe, your claymores. You know, it's funny how you put the word swords in parentheses, like we wouldn't know what claymores were. Actually, if you didn't say sword, I would have thought claymore mind, you know, front towards enemy originally. But yeah. Anyway, Skins Girl says, laugh out loud. I drive around charging all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
Nito said, I have night lights strategically scattered now.
I remember when we tried to use the battery, the tool battery charger in the Jeep. We were trying to plug it in to see if we can get it to work like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Bigby for the win says, this is the good news. It is the good news. You know, this life is a hard life. I'll be the first to tell you, it is not for the weak. It is not for the meek, but it is also rewarding as can be, you know, and to grow your own food and you know, to do it your own way. I'm going to share with you guys.
And you get to get up and go, what am I going to do today? Sometimes it's like, well, you're going to go get feed because that's what you need to do. But sometimes it's like, you know what? Maybe I'll go and plant some tomatoes.
I'm going to share some of the good news, not good news, but since we're on the topic of food, I just skipped down to some slides. I don't know if you guys seen this article or not, but she cut open a store-bought pork loin, and it was like Swiss cheese, had all kinds of holes in it. And I'm assuming that that's from them.
Tenderized?
You know how they stick those needles in there and blow it full of liquid, plump it up so that you buy it, you know? This is absolutely disgusting. A woman sliced into a regular pork loin and stopped because inside it didn't look like meat. It looked like Swiss cheese, coral, a sponge, or something that came out of the ocean, not a farm. The entire thing was filled with hundreds of micro holes, not pockets, not fat, actually tiny tunnels running through the muscle. And the comments went feral. No, because why does it look like coral? Looks like it's been injected with something. Parasites, stop. On and on and on, right? This doesn't look like bad pork. It looks like experimental protein that accidentally leaked into the food supply. What do you think? Pretty gross, huh?
That's awful.
Yeah. Let's see here. Where are we at? I don't know. We'll start right there. Oh, Lottie, no. Mario Scott's Irish Viking DNA is waking up and his wheels are spinning. All right. So here you go. Instigator. Mario, Instigator. You guys can bring your kilts and your claymores and your bagpipes, right? It'll be cool. Yeah, Squat, you said it's a super fulfilling life. That it is. Nito says looks like lab-grown meat.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
Yeah, which is disgusting. You guys know 7 states have now banned lab-grown meat. Kansas is not one of them as of yet. Hey, Tina, how are you? I'm going to do food stuff. For the first of its kind, government lawsuit has been launched against 11 big food companies for knowingly creating high addictive, poisonous, ultra-processed food. Companies being sued include giants like Kellogg and Coca-Cola, showing these foods are linked to obesity, cancer, diabetes, and more. We're on nearly every shelf in nearly every grocery store across the country. Ultra-processed foods now make up over 50% of the American diet.
Yep, I believe it.
Yep, that is insane. We've got to take our food supply back and our food safety back. And so funny, this crazy journey of freedom. And it is, man, because, you think about what is freedom. And we were talking today with somebody, and I was telling them that property taxes and freedom cannot coexist. That they're counter, but I also don't think you can be free as long as what we're being fed is poisons. Right? Because
in our food,
because what it's going to do is
in our minds,
it's going to lock you into the pharmaceutical system, right? It's all of that type of stuff. And so I think freedom begins I don't know about begins, but certainly one big, I need to do a big graph on this, but one big component of freedom is food,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There was a post on the Washington Ghost that was talking about how Campbell's soup has now been highly discounted everywhere. I've just put a picture there of 25-cent sale. I don't know why anybody would eat any of that stuff. Warning, whistleblower sounds the alarm. Major food production plants in Minnesota have brought in Somalians who have defecated and urinated everywhere. This food is being distributed all over the United States and Canada. Here's a list of the major food processing plants in Minnesota, which includes General Mills, Land O'Lakes, Swans, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Kemp's Dairy, and Pilgrim's Pride, which are having problems with this. While this is going on, Americans are shopping at Albertsons. One of the sections of vegetables was removed to reveal, you can clearly see the thick grime and mold under where all the produce sits. This is in your local grocery store, right? Where am I at here? We'll just start right there. Tina said, good, thank you. Lab meat is like playing God. No bueno. Yeah, I agree. Regenerative Orchards, welcome in. How are you? Says, if you're buying canned food, check out Good Food Brand, small family brand that's in most stores, organic. Do you know them, Regenerative Orchards? Do you know them well enough that you can vouch for the food? Because I'm super skeptical when it comes to buying any of that kind of stuff. Cannibal soup.
Lab printed meat soup.
Yep. Let's see. Horrifying massive recall over sharp metal fragments found inside your food. Over 1.5 million bags of shredded cheese from Great Lakes just got slammed with a recall across 31 states, sold at Walmart, Target, Aldi, Publix, and more. Mozzarella, cheddar brands, and Italian styles, all potentially packed with deadly metal fragments.
Wow.
Your dog is dying 10 years early, and you're paying the offenders. Facts. U.S. dog lifespan has crashed from 15 plus years in 1970 to barely 10 years today. Cancer now kills 50% of dogs over 10, virtually unheard of 50 years ago. Fact, kidney failure, allergies, obesity, and arthritis all exploding since premium kibble became king. Your $400 bag of Science Diet actually contains ground up euthanized animals, glyphosate soaked grains, and antibiotics banned in 31 countries. Now, I know nobody cares about their dogs, but
that's
right?
crazy.
I mean, I think this is a really good reminder that, your dog should be eating like you're eating.
Mm-hmm. No wonder there's so many of those like farmers' dogs that have come to be now. Yeah. There's a lot of more healthy dog food options out there.
Isn't it crazy? They tell like the vets tell you don't feed your dogs people food.
Oh yeah, no.
I don't believe any of that.
That's funny too. They're like, don't feed them onions, don't feed them garlic, don't feed them pistachios, don't feed them raisins, don't feed them. And the neighbor over here is like, I feed my dog all of that. What do you mean? Why? And I'm like, what? Haven't you seen the news? It'll like kill him. And they're like, he's like, it hasn't yet. But I'm like,
let me tell you something. My dog's been able to feed people food their whole lives. They live long lives. I've had no problems with it.
I also don't put a whole lot of garlic and onions in there.
No, you watch,
raisins.
Right? You watch what you put in there, but there's nothing wrong with them having a steak, right? There's nothing wrong with them having chicken and rice, whatever. Too many to keep track of. Processed foods is going from bad to worse. Yeah, I think we have to take our food security back, and I think it's got to become super important. I mean, why in the world would you go to live a lifestyle of freedom, of homesteading, of prepping, of any of those kinds of things, and then eat out of a box? Isn't it kind of counter to everything you're trying to do?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it should be the building block. Let's see here. Lazy Loper right there said, feed those dogs quality raw food. Yep, Squatchy says, this is a great reason we raise our own cows and sheep. We feed raw to the pups. Yeah, I love that. Absolutely love that. Instigator said, maybe what don't feed the dog people food is admitting people food is dangerous. Right. Yeah. Tina says, I'm crocheting a sweater for my dog right now. Nito says, our girl is 12 now and still runs around like a puppy. Regenerative Orchard said, don't know him personally, just found them on Instagram. Father started the business in 2003. Son took over the business and posts clips in the fields harvesting. Definitely not a guarantee. Thank you. Let's see here. Terminator says, my old dog last year was 14 years old when he passed. Wait till you see what Bill Gates has planned for crops. Yeah, I think Big B, I think it's a super great point. We need to stop. We don't need to wait to see what Bill Gates has. We need to take control of it for ourselves. Right? These people out there, these systems out there are designed around profit. You know, we can talk about for what reason. We can talk about for control, World War III, the zombie apocalypse. It doesn't matter. They're not, none of it is done for your benefit. It's done for their benefit.
Yeah.
Right? It's done to enhance. And at the best case scenario, they're just doing it out of greed and corruption. At the worst case scenario, there's something much more nefarious, and it doesn't matter.
They don't want to tell you.
It doesn't matter. Right?
Yeah.
We need to take control of that stuff for ourselves. Right? Aldi sells food with bioengineered ingredients in them. Trader Joe's got exposed for selling fake foods. Someone please explain this to me. How is it that after switching, oh wait, sorry, I want to do that one after that. What's this one here? Yeah, Wall Street Apes. This was a great article. Said American farmer says he's done getting ripped off and is refusing to sell to big corporations anymore. He's now only going to sell direct to customer. He says in the 1980s, they got paid $800 a ton. Today, big corporations pay just $380 a ton. I want to give a shout out and a big thank you to those big corporations for not paying farmers a fair price for their crops so far this year. I have not sold a single kernel of corn to a big corporation that buy nearly all the corn in the United States. I sold them zero. I've sold all of it direct to deer hunters and cattle farmers. I've ground it into cornmeal, and I've ground it into grits. That bin is getting mighty, mighty low. I sold zero to you, corporate America. This is how you fight back.
Yeah, that's cool.
This is how you do it right here.
He still sold it. He just sold it to his neighbors.
Yes, and he probably did not make as much money and it was all said and done, or it was more work or whatever it is, but does that really matter? Because the fact is, how expensive is it that we're eating all this processed food?
Yeah.
If it's cheaper today, is it cheaper in the long run? Right? And this guy took a stand and said, I ain't doing it anymore. No is a complete sentence. We talk about it all the time. We've got to find ways we can take a stand. Right?
Yeah.
And I think this person is leading by example and did a great job of doing exactly that. A couple just did the math on McDonald's burgers. This was also interesting. And now people are asking what they're really eating. They went down the rabbit hole in the car. And the numbers they pulled up are actually wild. McDonald's claims they sell 6.5 million hamburgers every single day. One cow produces roughly 2,000 burger patties if you use everything you possibly can. Now run it out. That's 3,700 cows a day, 97,500 cows a month, over 1.1 million cows a year just for the basic hamburger supply. Here's the problem. Those numbers don't line up with the global cattle supply, slaughter capacity, or the amount of beef that the industry claims it processes. Even if everything was ran at maximum output, the math still leaves major gaps. If the map is correct, then the supply isn't. So the guy finally asked the questions that no one wants to say out loud. If the numbers don't add up, what are we eating?
Oh.
You like that?
Yeah, that was a twist. Thanks.
You want to go to McDonald's?
No. Yeah.
A San Antonio processor tested store-bought ground beef. Over 80 cows were in one pack. So when he tested his burger, there was 80 different cows' DNAs in that one pack of hamburger.
Gosh.
Most weren't even for America. They were imported from Brazil, Africa, and whatever was the cheapest. And this was all USDA stamp approved. So you guys know, right? Isn't that just amazing?
That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
Walmart customers going viral after receiving an email asking them to rate the product that they purchased with cash. How did Walmart know what he purchased if he paid cash? I didn't have my phone or any electronics with me. How did they even know what I bought? The only thing that I could think of is he had one of those discount cards. Do you have your Dillon's card? Right?
Yeah.
You get free coupons. You get the sign.
You know how it was, right? Mm-hmm. It's face recognition.
Maybe. Another stomach-churning scandal has erupted in Turkey as live worms were found inside of tea bags. How many of you guys open the tea bags that you put in your cup?
That's worms.
See right there. Isn't that lovely? Let's see here. Hippocrates says President-elect Trump's pick as Treasury Secretary owns a North Dakota farmland on which he earns between $100,000 and $1 million per year.
Oh my
I think I'm at 2 hours right
That's
there.
a lot.
Yeah. Well,
That's a productive farm. That's not a hobby farm.
well, but as long as we put all of our energy into money, as long as we let money serve as our God, right, this is never going to end well.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you can't take your money with you. So what are you saving it for? One. And I just think we're going to have to make some big sacrifices. You know, it was interesting. I was listening to Ron Paul talk about how Trump was given two choices. One was to save the bank, you know, the bankrupt dynasty that America was. And the other side was to save the republic.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew that he couldn't do both. And so that what he's chosen to do is to save the republic. But in doing so, he's ensuring the bankruptcy of the United States of America.
Mm.
Because he couldn't do both. And I don't know whether that's true or not. I'm not even going to testify to whether it's true. But just like the farmer who said he wasn't going to sell to the corporations anymore, people are going to have to make some hard choices.
Yeah.
Right? They're just going to have to do it. I have to do it, and you're going to have to do it. And you can get away with a little while with not. The problem is the longer we wait to take a stand, the worse it's going to get. And so I encourage everybody to get up, stand up, and do something about it today. You know, the water flows until it don't. The food gets delivered until it don't.
Yeah.
Power stays on until it don't. Right? Our strength has to come from awareness. Our security has to come from, you know, taking action. Our resilience has to begin, you know, at home. And so I think as we leave you guys here tonight, my parting words before we get to B is just take responsibility for your own. Take responsibility for your needs, your food. If you're not planting a garden, shame on you. Even if it's in a bucket in an apartment, shame on you. Right? Do something. Stand up and do something. Right? Focus on energy independence. Focus on financial independence. Man.
You okay?
What do you got, bud?
I had, are you doing the best that you can? You know, are you committed? Are you being intentional? We all falter, right? Forgive, move on, forgive fast, forgive easy, pray for those who are struggling, and to see others as God sees them, right? As they're God's children. So he says he loves them. He sees that they're perfect beings, and we should see others that way too. Remove the hate and hardened hearts.
Because I think at the end of the day, we got to own it. I don't see any other way through this. I think we got to own it. You got to own your food production, your energy production, your water production. And it doesn't mean you have to go get off grid. What it means is you have to have systems, whether it's storing it, whatever it is. And, you know, Regenerative Orchard said it super well. Plant your fruit trees now, even in a bucket. Just plant them. Get started, because it will grow to something else, to something else, to something else, to something else. You know, it started with my wife as 4 chickens one day. All of a sudden, there's hundreds of them out there. She tells you there isn't because she don't want me to know that that's the case, but I pay attention, and it's out there. And oh my goodness,
you really can't see well.
For the win, own your attitude.
Own it.
Right? I am. You know what I see, I am. I think that's great advice. Did you follow that?
I am what I see I am.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I love all of that. All right, guys. It's 2 hours, 4 minutes. We're going to get out of here. We love you. We'll see you guys on Friday. Oh, by the way, Friday, we're going to go over our goals list that we created at the end of 2024. This is 2025, right? And talk about our goal list for 2026, which we do every single year. And so we're going to do that on Friday. So pretty cool. We'll see you guys then. Be out.
Be out.
Tag out. Good night, everybody.
Good night.